Hello, OCA. This is Iris, and I'm here to help you guys out and give you a small training about the position that I'm running for the trustee at OCERS. So here we go. Let me go ahead and start with you guys on this. Let me give you a little overview on the agenda. So we're going to talk about what is OCERS, the structure of OCERS, the board of retirement duties, and important dates. So welcome to the training. That's my picture. I am part of the OCA board, and I'm also a trustee to the OCA Health and Welfare Trust. I've been a county employee since 1997. I'm currently a senior child support specialist, and I became an OCA steward since 2018. I've also been serving as a trustee on the OCA Health and Welfare Trust since 2019 and a board of director member since 2021. I became active with OCA back in 2018 when I noticed some of my coworkers, being taken advantage of, and also myself, I noticed. So that's when I became involved as a steward. And here is me. I went to the OC Register of Voters to file papers stating that I was interested in becoming the next trustee for OCERS Retirement Board. And here is my elect Iris for OCERS Retirement Board pin. So you're wondering, what is OCERS? It's basically where your retirement goes. There's a California Government Code, Section 31451. Not very fun to say that, but it is important for us. It basically recognizes that there's a public obligation to county and district employees to become incapacitated by age or long service in public employment, and its accompanying physical disabilities and provisions for retirement compensation. What does that mean to you? That basically means that there should be some kind of obligation by the county or whoever hires you to give you a retirement when you retire. It's basically known as 1937 Act. So that's basically what OCERS is. It provides a retirement for death, disability, and cost of living to the benefits employees of the County of Orange and certain districts. Our service for OCERS begins the time you're hired. So I've been a member for OCERS since 1997 when I was hired by the County of Orange. So how long have you been a member? It basically has to do with your start date for the county. And what is OCERS? OCERS is the bridge between the obligation that the county has to provide you a retirement and the service you provide the county as a county employee. So that's you, and that's your retirement. So what is OCERS? It's that bridge. That bridge you're going to cross when you're ready to retire is what OCERS is. OCERS is your retirement to get you to retire with a decent amount of pension. And who are the participants at OCERS? The County of Orange, of course. You're part of that. You as a county employee, regardless of what agency you're at, you're one of its participants. But you might not know there's tons of other participants for OCERS. We have all of these that you see. There's many places. There's the Orange County Cemetery District. We have the Superior Court of Orange, the Local Agency Formation Commission. There are tons of places, and whichever one you might know somebody at, guess what? They also contribute to OCERS. Here's some quick stats about OCERS. They might be a little bit much, but the thing that I found common is that as a general member and safety member, the average age or amount of service people had was 22 years of service. That's pretty common. However, the average age where they retire is different. The general members typically retire at 61 years of age, while the safety members retire at 55. If you notice, we have almost 51,000 total members, and these members are active members that are currently putting money into the retirement, or someone that put money in their retirement but left the county or their employment and won't cash their retirement out until they're ready to retire, plus an additional almost 21,000 who are currently retirees, beneficiaries, or survivors of their retired person. So as you can see, there's so many people out there that are currently members in OCERS. So where does OCERS get their funding? Well, obviously from our paycheck, but if you notice, the amount of our paycheck is only about 15 cents on the dollar, which is a very small amount in comparison to the whole dollar. If you see, there's about 33 cents that our own employer is putting on there. So they're pretty much putting about double the amount of what we put into OSER's fund. The other 52 cents that you see there is basically coming from investments that OSER's does on our behalf. So that's where the money comes from. It's basically there. So if you notice, again, 58 cents represents earnings achieved by OSERS on the investment portfolio. And if you notice, there's 51,000 members putting money in there at this time. So it's not something that you have to take lightly. It's careful investment money that is put in there by our contributions, employer contributions, and invested for us. The structure of OSERS, let's take a look at that. We have the Board of Retirement. There's 4 appointed by the Board of Supervisors. That would be someone like Katrina Foley, Mr. Sarmiento. And then there's also 4 elective active members. That would be where I come in. There's Adele and Chris Pravat currently serving as part of OCEA. I'm sorry, they're part of OCEA, but they're currently elected. And there's also 1 from safety member. And then we also have an elected retired member that is able to select somebody on there also. And we have the county treasurer as well that serves on the board. So these are the 9 members that are currently there. And then there's an alternative member as well. So current OSER Board of Retirement, we have Adele, as I mentioned, she's also on the board of OCEA. We have Mr. Packard, he is appointed. We have Mr. Hidalgo, also appointed. Sherry, the treasurer that I mentioned earlier. Mr. Hilton, he's a retiree elected member to the board. We have Mr. Oates, he's part of the safety. And then we also have Mr. Dwayne, he's appointed by the board. And Mr. Pravat, he's also elected. And Mr. Lindom, he's also appointed by the board. And as you can see, that's the position that I will hopefully be filling in beginning January of 2025. Mr. Pravat is going to be retiring at the end of this year from the board, and that's who I'm trying to replace in many ways, but as I don't think I can ever replace him. He is incredible, and hopefully I can fulfill that position also. So once again, the trustees and the staff of the retirement system are obligated to follow county employee retirement law, policies, and also follow governmental accounting standards board regulations. They must remain up to date in legislature developments that impact SERL. They are expected to deploy solid investment strategies by understanding financial markets and must always act in the utmost fiduciary responsibility on behalf of their plans participants. So what does this all mean? This basically means there's rules and regulations in California, in the county of Orange, that trustees must follow. Trustees don't just make up rules as it goes and start making up, decisions that don't have any kind of backing. They have to take trainings and do things that will help the entire OSERS as a whole, not just that person, but basically everybody. So they have to be there as a fiduciary, as their fiduciary duty when they serve. The role of a trustee in action. What does that mean? They have to attend monthly meetings. Those are the usual agenda items meetings. They also stand in committees as assigned. They work with staff. So when they attend meetings, what kind of things do? They follow OSERS policies. They review committee recommendations, and they deliberate on staff and CEO items. This is going to be what's the usual, because these are going to be in every single monthly agenda meeting and will be discussed and followed, and decisions will be made. There's also going to be committees. Some committees are going to be temporary, and some committees will be always in place. For example, committees that take place all the time will be investment committee and disability committees, but there's some that are temporary, like the building committee or any other regulation that needs to be looked at. They will be working with staff and the professional and public servants, legal, ethical compliance, public service, and public trust. That would be basically all the membership and those 20 employers that I mentioned in the previous slides that had the County of Orange and everybody else. So the role of a trustee in action is to attend professional conferences, ongoing training, mentoring the next generation. And so that's something that we do here at OCA. We're mentoring the next person that will be serving as a trustee. As far as attending professional conferences, there's state and national professional conferences that meet the industry trends. There's also going to be the CERL, the County Employee Retirement Law, Governmental Accounting Standards with ethics and compliance. So these are the kind of things that have been already taken into place. I've already attended a training that in the beginning of March for about 45 hours, learning about retirement, learning about Social Security, a lot of things that might not be part of OSERS, but a lot of people do benefit from those two things. So it is important as a trustee to learn all of those facts. And also the moral obligation to protect your retirement. If I'm not well versed in all these things, then I'm not going to make a good decision. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're attending the conferences and trainings on a yearly basis so that you know what you're talking about and learning all of the latest regulations. So what's fact and what's fiction? Well, this isn't a casino. It's not a game. This is people's lives. So the money that's put in OSERS isn't something that we play with. It's something that we have to make really wise decisions. So we have a fiduciary and legal role to do these. And we must follow rules and regulations when we do them. We're not just making up things on the fly and making decisions that will impact negatively the membership. This is something very important. So why is it important to elect a trustee who is union strong? You want someone that's going to serve the membership when they serve at OSERS, fighting for member rights and benefits. We know what it takes. And is part of the negotiations team and can fight on the table for you. I've served at the negotiations team in 2023, and it served as a really good learning experience. I was able to see what the membership needed and also see what the county offers and make sure that we make a good decision when we are bringing any item to the table and making decisions for our membership. So I'm here. So here's the key dates. There will be the ballots going out to you guys in the middle of May. Make sure you guys return them by June 18th. The ballots will be mailed by OSERS to all OSERS participants, and they're due June 18th at 5 p.m. The ballots will be coming to your home, so make sure that you have a good and updated address. April 30th, if you can, try to go this week to get that updated as soon as possible. They will be coming to that address that you have with the county. So make sure it's updated, and you don't need a stamp. You can return it back to any of the drop boxes or by regular OC mail also. And that will be it, you guys. Thank you for coming to the training.